St. Patrick's Day, March Madness, soccer. Oh, this is going to be a great day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. What's going on? It's Jason, of course, with Winning Bets. I'm giving you guys free sports picks every single day. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Surely your day is off to a better start than mine. Let me tell you guys how my day started. Hopefully you guys may get a little bit of a laugh out of this one. My day started about 5 a.m. like it has been doing, at least for the last couple weeks. Our 2-year-old wakes up early and we invite him into our bed, which is a little bit too early to go in the living room and play, so we try and do quiet time in the bed. Well, he likes to read. The kid loves reading books, so he likes to bring books into bed with him. Well, at 5 in the morning, it's a little dark. We're not going to turn lights on, so he brings a flashlight into the bed with us. So we're sitting there this morning, I'm reading, I don't even know what I'm reading, Green Eggs and Ham, that's what it was. I was reading some Green Eggs and Ham to him, enjoying the book, and then he starts kind of flaring the flashlight around, swinging it around. You know what happens to that flashlight? Yeah. Caught a flashlight at 5 in the morning in the pitch dark, square on the tooth. Yeah, that's how my day started, catching a flashlight to the tooth. Yeah, needless to say, I hopped out of bed, was saying some 4-letter words, stormed into the living room, just swearing, grabbing my tooth as fast as I can, making sure it wasn't damaged. Thought for sure I was toothless in the middle. Toothless in the middle would have been a really, really shitty start to the day. But thankfully the tooth is there. Tooth is all good. It's man, but what a start to the day. Pitch dark, catch a flashlight to the tooth. Surely your morning is off to a better start. Let's go ahead and recap yesterday, and let's talk about what action we're going to have for us on Thursday. Yesterday we went 3-4, and boy, was it a frustrating day, and even just kind of sitting here right now saying 3-4 and thinking about running through this recap, I'm getting really annoyed and pissed just like I was yesterday. Let's talk about why those feelings are had. We started off yesterday doing that Mainz versus Dortmund. Both teams to score over 2.5. That bet cashed, but we were able to cover the losses in that because if you guys do follow me on Twitter, I sent out a live bet of Dortmund team total over 0.5. I came back from running some errands. It was around about the 60th minute mark, and I went ahead and turned the game on, and I had been watching for a couple minutes, and it was all Dortmund. And then the announcer even said, well, the second half's been all Dortmund. Okay, so the 15 minutes I missed had been all Dortmund. I watched about 5 minutes, it had been all Dortmund. I said if this goes about 10 more minutes and it's all Dortmund having the ball, Dortmund's gonna get a goal before this game ends, and I was kind of waiting for it to get to be plus 200. It got to plus 215 on FanDuel at around the 80th minute mark, and I went ahead and sent that tweet and pulled the trigger, and we were rewarded with a great cash. Dortmund was always knock on the door there in the second half. We deserved that goal, and that goal came. So we were able to overcome the losses of our pregame bet, but even put a little bit of extra money in our pocket. So that was good work there on the live bet. And then we also hit another team total. How about Tottenham team total over 1.5 goals? Another good plus money bet as they were able to cash that one, getting 2 goals past Brighton and securing the win. So fantastic work right there. And then the BS started happening in soccer. We obviously took 2 under 2.5s in both the Champions League games. The first one there in Leal versus Chelsea, it's painful to lose that because I feel like both of these Champions League games, I handicapped them absolutely perfect. Leal versus Chelsea, you don't get that penalty. Chelsea doesn't turn the screws there at the end of the first half, but once Leal gets that penalty, now it's a one score margin on the 2-legged tie, and now Chelsea, wants to give it a go and re-establish their 2-goal lead and give themselves a cushion. So yeah, they turn the screws there before halftime, they get a goal, and now their second goal in the second half is now the third goal in the match, and we go over 2.5 instead of staying under it. So just frustrating because that goal in the second half should have been Chelsea winning the game 1-0. We get the kiss of death. We get the kiss of death, and obviously that's painful for an under bettor to see a penalty, and we got that. So that one hurt. And then if that didn't hurt, if you don't think that was, a tough beat, well, then the kick in the dick comes in the Juventus versus Villarreal. Had obviously under 2.5 in that game. We get 2 penalties. You get, after 77 minutes of 0-0, we get 3 goals in, the last, call it 12, 15 minutes of the game to sink that bet. That is an absolute brutal. The first one was via a penalty. Again, something you don't want to see as an under bettor, the absolute kiss of death, or one of the kiss of death to an under bettor. So that was tough. Then Villarreal gets another one. They're up 2-0. These SOBs keep attacking, and then injury time, we're 90 plus minutes. They keep attacking and get another penalty. and they make that and they win the game 3-0, losing it. That was a brutal beat that you had gone 77 minutes of no goals, and then you get 3 in the last 12 minutes, 2 via the penalty kick. Brutal. And what are they even doing? Even attacking in injury time. You're up 2-0. That one annoyed the shit out of me and really kind of gets me upset, quite frankly, kind of talking about it here. So I'm done talking about that. I thought those were certainly one really tough, brutal, bad beat and another just kind of tough beat there in that Chelsea match. So it was just unfortunate. We get one of those to go our way. We have a profitable day yesterday. Tough. I didn't think we deserved that. I didn't think we deserved that. We deserved a Champions League sweep, or at worst, we deserved 1-1. Tough right there. Came back in the nightcap. We, of course, were doing our teaser parlays that we've been doing. Now we're 6-1 on our teaser parlays, unable to keep the perfect run going. We did hit our over, but we missed the under. So now we fall to 6-1, but still doing really good work with those. Won't be betting in the NBA tonight as there's only one game, but we'll be looking to find our best 1 or 2 teasers on Friday, and we'll get right back on that horse because, again, they've been treating us well at 6-1. Cashed 1 of the 2 last night, so feel good about that. Just missed the under there by a handful of points in one of those games. So yeah, down a little bit yesterday on the day, but frustrating. Again, I don't think we deserved that. I thought we deserved a profitable day. Unfortunately, Champions League didn't go our way. We were able to make a little bit more arbitrage money, as you can see right there, and it mainly come from DraftKings every Wednesday, where they do the gift, the goal in the first 10 minutes. So, all right, we got to pick ourselves up after yesterday, and that's exactly what we'll do today. Let's just jump right on into the March Madness contest and remind everybody I've got a bracket created on ESPN. If you want to go ahead and join the Winning Bets League, you can go ahead and do that. There's about 30 or so people in that. Look forward to competing alongside everybody. I predicted Baylor to go ahead and cut down the nets. That is 100% guess. Either way, I just look forward to competing with you guys all tournament long. Keeping the discussion here on March Madness, I've got some March Madness bets. That's right. I'm not going to let this tournament go by without getting some bets. I sent out this tweet earlier this morning asking anybody if anybody else was going to go ahead and bet every underdog in round 1 of the NCAA tournament. I am, folks, and I never did put together that video yesterday. I apologize, so I'm going to do it right here during this daily show. I create chapters. If you don't care to listen how I'm going to bet every single underdog in this NCAA tournament, then you can just go ahead and skip on to the next chapter and go right to the soccer bets. For those interested, here's how I'm going to go ahead and do it before I reveal the teams and obviously the prices that I bought and everything. It'd be crazy not to use these promotions that the various sports books are going to go ahead and give to us. So starting with DraftKings, there is a Gonzaga boost. You can get Zaga at even money. You'd be crazy as hell not to do that. And matter of fact, before I had the idea of betting every underdog, I went ahead and bet that Gonzaga money line at even money Sunday night, probably like everybody else did. Couldn't get that bet in fast enough Sunday night when that was available to us. So I'm already locked in on that Gonzaga money line at even money due to the DraftKings promo. DraftKings also gave 33% profit boost. So I'm going to obviously use that over the course of these underdogs. And then, of course, on FanDuel, we get a risk-free $25 bet. You can make a parlay. It can be a single, whatever. It just has to be around college basketball. And they'll give you a one-time $25 risk-free bet. So, of course, incorporate that here in our underdogs. All right, so before I give you again the bets, let me give you guys a little bit of background, depending on how new you are or are not here to the show. We are betting underdogs because we know this is, one, a profitable trend. We saw it in basketball. I shared with you guys the tweet last season where the underdogs in basketball were profitable throughout the entire season. We even tried to do our own experiment last Major League Baseball season. I put $1, nothing crazy, but I wanted to see, are the underdogs in Major League Baseball, can they be profitable? So I was just betting $1 on every underdog and just blindly betting $1. Didn't care the teams, didn't care the pitching matchup, just bet $1, bet $1, bet $1. We were at one point like up 40 or so units in that experiment, and then came crashing down. The underdogs just kind of cooled off, and it was around about 20 units we were up. I went ahead and pulled the trigger and reclaimed my profit and went ahead and ended that experiment. But the fact is, before the sports books can adjust, before we really know who teams are, because we think we know who teams are in preseason, but that doesn't mean that's who they are going to be, come kickoff or once the season starts. So our opinions and who things are, I guess, changes. So that's why the underdogs are, of course, profitable. So we know March Madness is full of upsets. You see that each and every single season. So that's why, because we've seen it be successful in previous sports, we know kind of the history that March Madness is kind of, with upsets being heavy. So I am going to do it. And these are going to be real bets. We were experimenting with Major League Baseball and they didn't count towards my profit, win or loss. This is going to count towards my profit, win or loss. I'm making these real official bets. I'm betting every single underdog minus that Gonzaga game. I'll get to that here in a second. and I'm gonna go ahead and bet every single underdog. And yeah, these will be real bets. These will count, win or loss. And guys, if you're gonna go ahead and do this with me, yeah, this will take a lot of capital. Whatever your unit size is, times that by 32, because that's how many games there are in round one. This is going to be capital investment, but I think in the long run, it'll go ahead and pay off, and I think it'll also provide us a lot of fun and excitement along the way. So with that being said, there's obviously 16 games that are kickoff today on Thursday, round one. I've bet all 16 games, so let's go ahead and reveal those right now. All right, so this is what we're going to go ahead and do. The first one here is talking about that Gonzaga DraftKings promo. I'm back Gonzaga. I have no interest in hedging that bet. Look, I know I just said I was going to bet every single underdog. I didn't realize I was going to do that before I bet this promo. So I'm betting every underdog but Georgia State. I'm going to be on Gonzaga. Again, I have no interest in hedging. If Georgia State, beats Gonzaga, then I'll lose my money alongside with every other single American in the United States that went ahead and backed Gonzaga on that money line. So, all right, so I'm on Gonzaga promo. That being said, let me tell you guys, I'm going to have at the end of this, I'll provide you guys with an update, right? I provide my daily update on my unit win-loss, and Gonzaga will be reflected in that. At the end of this, I will do another update that would have assumed I would have bet Georgia State, right? Because I do kind of want to see, is this profitable? Like, had I bet Georgia State, if I lose it, okay, I will subtract the unit. If I win it, I'm going to use FanDuel's number of 20-1. So that's the number I'll use on Georgia State. So just know that at the end of this, I will do a recap that assumed I actually followed this and bet every underdog. All right, let's keep moving right now. I'm going to go ahead and bet Marquette. I already did bet Marquette at plus 150 over at DraftKings. I'm going to go ahead and bet St. Peter's at plus 1,600 over at DraftKings. And before you ask, yes, guys, I'm fading Duke. I'm fading Kentucky. I'm fading Baylor. Who would have predicted Virginia to lose a couple years back? Nobody would predict. If you're going to do this, you've got to bet every single underdog. Don't get to a point where you're picking and choosing which ones you think are going to win or lose. You've got to bet them all. Nobody would have predicted UVA to go ahead and lose. Nobody predicts 15 seeds. Just blindly bet them all, folks, if you're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and take South Dakota State at plus 120 over at MGM. I'm going to go ahead and do Colorado State at plus 105 at MGM, and I'll do San Francisco at plus 105 over at MGM. Over at FanDuel, I bet Longwood at 1,400, and I bet Texas Southern at 22-1. Over on Bet Rivers, I got New Mexico State at plus 240. I've got Vermont at plus 180, and I've got Creighton at plus 115. And then over at Caesars, I've got Boise State at plus 140, Richmond at plus 250, Norfolk State at plus 20-1. I got Indiana at plus 130, and Akron at 850 to round out my 16 underdogs that I'm just blindly betting. Don't care who the matchup is. I'm blindly betting. These are real bets, and they'll be reflected on tonight's daily recap. Only need a few of these to hit to go ahead and reclaim these 16 units. So let's go, March Madness dogs. Let's get the dogs barking. All right, so that'll be Thursday's dogs. Come back on Friday's show, and we'll talk about Friday's dogs in March Madness. All right, well, while basketball is going on, there will also be a couple soccer games that I'm interested in betting. I've already given out both of these bets earlier yesterday on Twitter, but let's go ahead and talk about them. I'm going to be in the Premier League, Everton versus Newcastle over 2.5 goals. I gave this bet out at plus 112 over at FanDuel. I saw just before I got in here this morning, it's at plus 118 over at FanDuel. We are definitely fading the public because this bet opened up at about minus 110, and it's obviously gone the other direction. Now it's at good plus money, almost plus 120. Don't care. I'll fade the public because I trust myself and the work that I put into this. Look, this bet is cashed in 5 of the last 6 head-to-heads. Newcastle has been obviously had a nice uptick recently. I've talked about how I really like Eddie Howe, and no surprise that Eddie Howe is now having success. He was successful at Bournemouth, but not to this level of success. But you pair Eddie Howe's tactics, Eddie House's, just strategy that he likes to do with the team that will spend money as they did in January and get him some nice signings. Yeah, not a big surprise that Newcastle's turned the corner and really gotten up out of that relegation. That being said, I think they're out of relegation, but they are kind of still right there. So I expect them to still be going for it like they have been over the last few weeks and scoring goals, which is like 2. They got 2 versus Brighton, 2 versus Brentford, 2 versus Southampton. I think Southampton and Brighton have a better defense than Everton. So nothing scares me with this Newcastle team. I think they'll keep scoring goals. And for Everton, you can sit there and say they're obviously not scoring and they're not in great form. And I would obviously certainly agree with that. They're full on struggling. But the fact is, this is a relegation fight. We've been betting teams that have been in relegation battles and getting cashes. Obviously, most recently, we bet Leeds and Norwich last weekend and got a cash at over 2.5 in both teams to score. So we know what we get with these fixtures. We get goals more times than not. Everton's got to go for it, right? And this is a Newcastle team that doesn't have like the greatest of all defense. There's a reason why they were in a relegation fight for most of this season and kind of still are. They have a defense that can be exposed, and at some point Everton's gonna wake up. They've still got Richarlison on their team. They still got a Calvert-Lewin. They've still got decent midfielders tucked in behind those two strikers. At some point they're gonna wake up. This game's at Goodison Park. This is a game that they kind of need to win, or this is a game that Newcastle, if they really want to say we're not in the relegation, they can put some serious distance between themselves and Everton if they were to go ahead and get all 3 points. So recent head-to-heads have been cashing over 2.5 goals. I think within this current season, within this current fixture, you're going to get just a cracker of a game. Two clubs that are absolutely going to go after it. I can't wait to sit back and watch the goals fly in the back of the net. I think over 2.5 will cash. Don't be surprised if this bet cashes before halftime, or if we have 2 goals at halftime. I think you're going to get goals in this game. Look forward to watching this one. So over 2.5 goals for me for Everton versus Newcastle. And then the other bet, I'm not even going to talk about it. Leverkusen versus Atalanta. Both teams are scoring over 2.5. We cashed this bet in the reverse fixture. We didn't have the both teams to score part in the bet last week. Remember, we paired it with under 2.5 and West Ham versus Sevilla. I'm just going to go ahead and just isolate this game on its own. Yeah, I'm just not going to talk about it. We talked about this reverse fixture last week. We know why we like over 2.5 and both teams to score. So no-brainer bet at minus 125. Yeah, no-brainer. So that's how we'll do it right there. All right, so that's how we'll do it on today's show. We've got every underdog and March Madness. Going to go ahead and back today. We've got these 2 soccer bets, and then come back a little bit later on. Obviously, because it's Thursday, we've got the hockey squirrel, and there's a nice slate of hockey games going on tonight. So look forward to seeing what hockey bets we may potentially add to this. So come on back a little bit later on. All right, guys, so there it is. Go enjoy your Thursday. Go enjoy March Madness, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today, and check out my other great videos in these corners.